So this is the edge of a remnant, and this area is being planted, but it's a fragment of a local regional forest. So you have some bigger trees, you have, I think there is some bouillon trees here and some lily-pillies, and now a regeneration happening underneath. So, but this edge where we are is never going to be planted, because I think up to that point we have the electricity line, and this is a property. So because for fire asset protected zone, you can't just let the forest grow right beside the house. So you have to manage these areas, and the environment weeds are going to keep coming, and the grasses. So, but however, to an edge like this, to spend 100 years, 30, 10 years spraying grasses and herbs is not a good management for long term. Because this grass here is broadleaf paspalum, and ideally you want this grass, that's the basket grass. That's what a bush regenerator dream would like. And you can achieve that by keep mowing the other one, and eventually this area will get shaded, you got more natives coming up there, and eventually you achieve that outcome. While that's not happening, lots of fragments like that, the management on the edges is constantly spraying. But this grass no longer can enter there, not because someone is spraying. Is not going to enter that remnant because the light has changed. That area is too shady for the broadleaf paspalum to enter. So the spraying on the edge is more aesthetic thing, because you don't want to see the broadleaf paspalum on the edge of the forest. But how many years, my question is, we're going to spray the edges? And you often see these practices around remnants or around the Shire where the edges constantly get sprayed. But you can't change. You're not going to grow forest on that edge. So leave the broadleaf paspalum and accept it. It belongs to the open area. And we just use mowers and other tools and we know it's not going to enter there because it's too shady. So to come along and constantly spray it's going to concentrate too much poison here. No, it's not just 1 year. I've been watching spots in a Shire 10, 20 years, they've been spraying the same edge for the same purpose. And we could, if they really don't want that grass, they concern enter, then we plant a line of lomandras and completely block it, no, but not spraying. Because I was working around here the other day, and then I noticed blue. I noticed and I know that the blue is the dye from the herbicide. So I know someone came here and spray, and I was just concerned for seeing what they spraying. So they spraying seedlings of green cestrum that is really easy to pull. They're spraying billy goat weed, so you can see the blue here. See, can you see the blue? See, that's blue, that's the dye. So this plant is being sprayed and this plant is going to die. This plant is billy goat weed. It's a herb. It can no longer enter this forest. This forest now is too shade. So it's always going to stay there. So to spray that one and leave all that, it's a bit strange. It's like makes no sense from a managed perspective. And why splash poison here when if it is a big deal, then just pull by hand if you really want it, or plant lomandras here. This is a native seedling regenerating, and it's going to die because this is a cestrum that's being sprayed. So the person with the spray pack is standing up and go shh. So it's more likely that you cause injury on the other plants around. While if I'm just passing through and it's only a few cestrums, that is not many cestrums on this edge, you just grab this, and it's like nothing to pull this plant. It's just too easy to pull. So no plants, nothing of these grasses can enter this forest anymore. from an ecological perspective. It's too shady. So it's not tidy, it's not perfect, but they're not doing anything. So they can stay there. So they can be mowed, they can be brush cutted, or plant a line of lamandras. Yeah, it's always splash poison. So here's a classic. So this is a Gioa tree, a native, a beautiful tree. It will die now. And this is a seedling of Paspalian that's never going to grow any bigger from here. Ecologically speaking, it cannot self-seed anymore, but they poison it because it doesn't belong. And then they got the Gioa too. So yeah, quite high level of injury of natives just to target that is going nowhere. She got blue. She's going to be dead. Yeah, so all along this edge here, a little splash of poison here and there, and it's not needed from a management perspective.
What do you think is the main problem with the poison?
It's the leach into the ecosystem. So like this area, we have quite a high level of rainfall in the northern rivers. So it's not true. It's like, I know it's stuck there in the brains of people that herbicides like that have glyphosate breaks down when they touch organic matter. This is already, there's many researchers out there that say that it doesn't. It may bounce of clay, but eventually it leaches into the ecosystem, because if it doesn't leach, how come it's in the ocean? How come it's in rainwater? How come it's in 100 mothers where the breast milk was tested in Brazil, they all had glyphosate on their breast milk? How come it's in the underground water on the wells? So yeah, if it doesn't leach, how come it's moving around? So that's my main concern, that we should be very concerned that it's being used so sporadic, like it's nothing. The lack of awareness, where it's going to go, the environment footprints behind the belief system, and it's not needed. There's other ways to manage environment weeds than herbicides. So we should be taking it more serious, no? Especially local councils and state government and federal government start to be more forward towards a more holistic approach towards land management. At the end of the day, we need to drink clean water. So it doesn't matter how much money someone's making, I still want to drink clean water. And that's my goal, yeah.